It's freezing here in Melbourne, guys. It is so cold, but I've got a nice orange watch to warm me up today. And for those who've known me long enough, you know that every now and then I get a particular watch on the channel that really surprises me. This is it. It's a GADA watch. It's very attractive. It's got incredible ergonomics. And for me personally, I chose to get this orange watch on the channel because it looks like anodized aluminium of sorts. And let me show you guys something. This is my camera system. This is a Sony A7 series. I converted from Canon to Sony many years ago. I know this is going to sound stupid. One of the things that actually drove me over the line was that orange anodized little ring that goes around the camera where you connect the lens to the body. Now that's not a way to change a system of cameras. You obviously look at the specs, and look, the specs on this are exceptional, but that orange really threw me over the line. And I've got to tell you what, guys, this thing here's got the same color. It's attractive, it's alluring, but more so, the watch is actually pretty good. Now the watch in my hand is from England. It's designed in England, it's apparently assembled in England as well. It's called the Beaucroft Element. This particular one that I've got in my hand is called Sunset Orange, and it has ticked every single box in my checklist throughout the week. And I want to share this up front. The way I do reviews is very simple. I spoke to Beaucroft several months ago and I said, I'd love to get this on the channel, no problems. It's several months later and the watch arrived. Now I don't remember what I saw on the internet, what the specs were, all the rest. That's a good thing. So what I do, I get the watch in, I get the box, I unbox it, I have a look at the packaging, I have a look at the watch itself, take all the stickers off, and I place it on my wrist. Now for the next 7 days, I don't waste my time looking for the specs of this watch to see what it was. I try to experience it for myself on the wrist because I think that's a better way for me to really get a gauge of what I've got and to express that to you in my reviews. I do it with all watches. I don't know if you can hear that. That rotor is spinning. You see, I just did this and that rotor went crazy. I only discovered 2 days ago that this is a Miyota. You see, I didn't know what movement was in this watch. This is how I do things, guys. I put this thing on my wrist. I've actually discovered 7 things that I love about this. Actually, I've actually discovered 8 things that I love about this watch. The 8th one I discovered today, and that was that crown, and I'll share why. After spending a week with this watch on the wrist, I tell you, I cannot find any faults. And that's what we do as watch reviewers. We get a watch in, we look at it, we wear it, we experience it, we try to find, me personally, I try to find faults. I try to say, look, the watch was great, but there's a little niggle here, this sort of bugs me, or the crown's too small, or there's no, whatever I can find, I share with you guys. I found nothing. I found nothing with this watch, but if I really have to nitpick, probably the price. It's not a cheap watch, it's not an expensive watch, but not an inexpensive watch as well. I'll share that in my gripes and room for improvement section. Now you saw the pop-up, Beaufort has sponsored this video, so we'll of course leave all the links in the description section. If this watch interests you, by all means, feel free to check them out. Now I did say to you guys that I discovered that there's a Miyota in this after wearing it for several days. I also discovered that there's an anti-scratch coating, a hardness treatment on this bracelet case because of the way I've been treating it. I've been bumping it up, using it as per normal. I don't baby these watches that come in. I treat them to see what they're going to behave like so that you can know. There's not a mark. There's not a mark anywhere on this watch. So it does feature hardness treatment up to 1300 vigors. So that was reassuring for me. Now, the first thing that I liked about this watch was that glass, the crystal. You see, this has got a slightly double dome sapphire crystal. And as we all know, the glass acts as the viewing platform to that dial. So looking through that glass and experiencing that dial, I think they've chosen the right sapphire. Now being a slightly double dome sapphire, it will inherently attract some reflections, but the mood and emotive feeling coming off the watch, looking through that glass, far outweighs that negative, in my opinion anyway. And looking through that glass, that dial is an absolute standout. It's a vibrant orange color, which starts off light in the middle and gradually goes out darker where all the applied indexes are situated. And then that dial turns into a chapter ring, which again becomes lighter and creates a mood, a depth, and a very interesting visual character to this watch that I think they've got right. Now the design of this watch is actually pretty safe. But safe is good, isn't it? It works. And in this case, accompanied with that dial, with that character, I think it's elevated this watch to another level. Now, on an external standpoint, that case shape is a real standout as well. If you look at the side profile of this case, it's bead blasted underneath, there's fine satin brushing along the whole flank of the case, and a highly polished bevel running the entire length of that case. Now, I think it's done beautifully. It actually sits really well on the wrist. The comfort has been a no-brainer on this watch all week, and it looks thin, it feels thin, it wears thin. Because looking at the specs of the watch, with a case diameter of 39.5 accompanied by that height of 12mm, the comfort has been superb. The watch does also offer 200 meters of water resistance, and the total weight on the supplied bracelet, sized to my 18cm wrist, I measure exactly 137 grams. For a GADA watch, for a sports watch that you could probably dress down, dress up, I think they've designed it really nice. And on that note, that bracelet, I've not wanted to wear this watch on anything else but the bracelet. Because of the small link sizes, the way they articulate into one another, they fold down into each other, they drape over the wrist beautifully. There's a good taper on that bracelet from 20 to 16. You've got perlage on that swivel and an appropriately refined toolless on-the-fly micro-adjustable clasp. Now, one thing that has stood out throughout the week of this watch is the actual finishing. From the bracelet to the case, hopefully some of my video can do this watch justice. The level of finesse on the finishing of this watch is another thing that did catch me by surprise. And it all comes down to the details, little things like that applied logo. I think it's nicely done. It just brings an air of a more expensive watch, which really suits the watch's execution and overall standing. Now, speaking about that Miyota movement, looking at their specs on their website, it says that they regulate it in-house to plus or minus 10 seconds per day. Now, what I've experienced on this watch in 7 days of wearing it is plus 7 seconds. In other words, plus 1 second per day. It's gained a second a day. That's why I've not had the need to use that crown. That crown is good. It's only 5.9mm. Now, to me, that's normally might be a little bit small, but I think the knurling, the design of it, even the winding and latch down experience has been a joy. And I put that aside because I only used it once on the first day I used this watch, and I used it today. And I thought, yeah, this is good. This is good. It's complemented the rest of everything else I've experienced on this watch. That's got to be a good thing. Now, lastly, if I dim the lights and we look at the lume of this watch, it offers BGW9 Superluminova. It glows blue. It's evenly applied. I think they've chosen well here because it's long lasting, and for a sports watch offering 200 meters of water resistance, this sort of lume is more than ideal. Now, all that said, guys, what are my gripes or room for improvement? I did say at the video I don't have any. Well, I don't. I really don't. I can't find technical faults on this watch, really. The price is $1,065. That's it. Now, that's Australian dollars. So around 675 USD. It's got a Miyota. Look, it would have been nice to be closer to the 550 USD mark. I really shouldn't be complaining, and I say that because the execution, the finishing, the attention to detail, this watch really does feel premium in my hands, if that makes sense. If you're looking for a sports watch, something that you can't afford major brand territory, it's a bit expensive, there's nothing wrong with this watch. I've so enjoyed it, and the watch has given me feelings that I normally expect from a much more expensive watch. And every time throughout the week I've looked down at this watch, at that dial, there's one word that comes to my mind, and that's fresh. Maybe it might be because it's cold outside, because it's fresh, but no, it's fresh. This watch is fresh. And in my book, that's excellent for a micro brand to be able to achieve all these things in a watch with seriously not making a huge dent in that back pocket of ours. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Hit me up in the comments, let me know what you think of this watch or even this brand. There's quite a few different colorways on their website. I've not seen a bad colorway of this particular model. As I mentioned, I personally was drawn to this orange. So glad I've got it in the hand. It is exactly what I expected, and if not that little bit more. Continue to enjoy this hobby and one another, and we'll see you all in the next one.